Europe in the beginning of the 20th century was built on an idea called the balance of power. Countries allied themselves with other countries to ensure that no nation was powerful enough to bully the others. The two main alliances consisted of the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance. The members of the Triple Entente were the British Empire, France, and the Russian Empire. The Triple Alliance consisted of the German and Austro-Hungarian empires and the Kingdom of Italy. This set of alliances deterred countries from fighting. However, one conflict could bring in all the major powers and set off a world war. And this is precisely what happened. The heir to the Austrian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was assassinated along with his wife Sophie by a Bosnian Serb named Gavrilo Princip in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. Princip operated under a group named Black Hand, which sought a Yugoslavia free from Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary then sent an ultimatum to Serbia, which Serbia refused. The Austrians then, with German support, declared war on Serbia. While Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, Russia, who was Serbia's ally, began to mobilize. Germany then declared war on Russia. Then, Germany looked west and declared war on France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Britain, honoring the 1839 Treaty of London, which guaranteed the independence of Belgium, declared war on Germany. The world was set ablaze. Germany adopted an approach called the Schlieffen Plan to invade France. It worked up until the Battle of the Marne. German soldiers dug themselves in, and so began the era of trench warfare. Trenches were long stretches of dug-up earth in which soldiers would hide. However, these trenches continued for dozens of kilometers along the Western Front. Machine guns and barbed wire were set up to mow down any attackers. The Western Front saw little progress in the 4 years of fighting. However, here are some notable battles that may be on your test. The Second Battle of Ypres, the first battle in which chemical gas was used by the Germans. Passchendaele, or the Third Battle of Ypres, is noted for being an exceptionally muddy and bloody battle. The Battle of Jutland, the only major sea battle of the First World War, and the Battle of the Somme, the bloodiest battle with over 1 million deaths and the first use of the tank by the Entente. Another theater of battle was in the Atlantic Ocean. The Germans were being blockaded by the British and set out to break the blockade. They followed a doctrine called Unrestricted Submarine Warfare, where German submarines, aka U-boats, would shoot down any boat going to Britain. The Americans had a number of their ships torpedoes, including the ocean liner Lusitania. This, along with many other reasons, brought the Americans into the war on the side of the Entente. Italy stayed neutral during the war until she was promised land if she joined the Entente side. The Triple Alliance became the Central Powers. The other two nations to join the Central Powers were the Ottoman Empire and Bulgaria. In the East, the Central Powers were bringing the Russians to their knees. Russian peasants were starving and demanded reform. Russia had two revolutions in 1917, one to overthrow the Tsar, who ruled Russia, and one that put Vladimir Lenin in power. He promised to end the war with Germany. The ensuing treaty was named the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Russia lost significant amounts of land to Germany, but was finally out of the war. Germany moved their troops from the east to the west in order to launch one final operation to end the war. This operation was named the Spring Offensive. It worked initially, however the Germans were stopped, and the Entente, with the help of the Americans, began to go on the offensive. The Allies' campaign was named the 100 Days Campaign. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 1918, an armistice was signed in a French rail carriage. The following months, the countries convened in the Paris Peace Conference in order to draft the Treaty of Versailles, which would deal with the surrendered Germany. Germany had thought the terms of the treaty would be minimal, as they had not lost an inch of German soil. However, the Entente took the armistice as a German surrender, and as a result, Germany was not allowed a say in the treaty. Germany was dealt a series of blows, but here are the major ones. The German army was to be only volunteers and could not exceed 100,000 men. They were only allowed a small navy and no air force. They lost a fair bit of German land and all their colonies around the world. They were also forbidden to unite with Austria. Germany was also forced to pay massive reparations and was given the guilt of starting the war. Here are some more key figures that may show up on your test. Manfred Von Richthofen, aka the Red Baron, is noted for being the best fighter ace of World War I. Georges Clemenceau, was the French Prime Minister. He wanted Germany to be punished for starting the war. David Lloyd George, British Prime Minister, who wanted a Germany who would be a valuable trading partner. Woodrow Wilson, American President, who wanted self-determination, the idea of people governing themselves and not being ruled by a foreign monarch, such as in Austria-Hungary. Kaiser Wilhelm II, Emperor of Germany, Franz Joseph, Emperor of Austria-Hungary at the beginning of the war, Douglas Haig, a popular British army general, Vladimir Lenin, leader of Communist Russia who took them out of the war, and Tsar Nicholas II, Tsar of Russia, who was overthrown by Lenin.